Back through the picks and bans as we are joining us into the draft as we speak. LGD now on the blue, Invictus Gaming on the red, and now we'll see what the side of LGD want to prioritize as they've got themselves the first pick.
We got the Lucian ban coming through from LGD though. That actually slipped through the entire draft last time, so obviously a little bit more worried about something of an AP pairing with the jungle and mid lane Lucian coming through from IG, whereas we're getting Nocturne, Xin Zhao, and I still imagine that we'll probably see some of the big picks, that we saw in the last one banned away. It's actually going to be the Lee Sin, who leaves Renekton open for Fearness here. So potential here for that first pick to be going over towards LGD, giving a comfort pick towards Fearness.
Now, the Crocodile that has been on the perma-ban list, he's just too powerful in the mid and tops, swapping around. But something that has found its way through the picks and bans has also been that Akali. And this is something that Rookie is very potent on if they do want to go for it. But nope, they're going to go for the Varus themselves, give that over to Wink and try and get him a nice laning phase before they lock in the Akali.
Yeah, now we get the Akali. I think this is a super strong pickup for IG, and a kind of a nice call here in the draft is look, even if we leave open the Renekton, we get two incredibly strong para picks when you look towards that red side pick. Now, though, LGD, though, they're kind of answering back at we're kind of getting the OP gay lanes in this one. The Rumble coming in has been one of Shadow's most played, and also honestly one of his best champions that we've seen. His Rumble ultimates look really clean, and now you get Xie, who's going to get his hands on towards the Viego as well. A very strong matchup in that mid lane, especially against something like the Akali.
See what the final pick here is going to be for the first phase for Invictus Gaming. They are taking their time with it. They are going to go with the set. I was just about to say, I think you got to take the set here. Give yourself a nice laning phase as such. You can still put Nani onto the set or the Akali. You can swap that around between himself and Rookie. And now it's going to be about the jungle bans for LGD and the bot lane bans for IG.
I think for look, yes, you're going to get the AD carry bans from IG, but I'm certainly looking more towards the support. Actually, I wouldn't even mind banning the supports. I think you're looking at Nautilus, Leona, things that just enable the bruiser composition that we're seeing coming through from LGD, because right now, they need those big engage tools. Now, Kalista kind of facilitates that double style, right? She can provide that engage, which is why we're seeing taken off the board, but I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that Nautilus taken off the board, or Leona here. Probably the Nautilus more so, just because of how good that point and click is, especially against champions like this Akali.
Honestly, the Nautilus would be good. The Ezreal, just to take that away completely as well, would be fine for the side of Invictus Gaming. They've got plenty of options to facilitate Lucas and Wink, and there is the Ezreal band away, so fully going down onto Kramer. And honestly, I think Mark is fine. I think Mark is never going to have a bad series as such, but I do think that it is... go on.
Senna Karma's open. This would be insanely strong for LGD's composition. You add that in over the Sterix gauge that you're getting, the hues that are coming through on LGD side, that is absolutely nussy. I would love to see that picked up for Kramer Mark. If they're able to play it, I know Mark has been playing a little bit of the Karma, but that would round out this composition for LGD so nicely.
Do they play it? That is the next question as we wait to see what they want to go for. And LGD taking their time with this one here. They want to make sure they get everything, all their ducks in a row before they fully commit to absolutely anything. And actually going to look to maybe towards the Zig. So they need a little AP damage, and the Senna is still available to them as well. So LGD, they're going to go with half of what you wanted to go for. Either the Karma or the Senna are totally fine.
I want the Karma. I actually want the Karma. I think the speed up could enable your team so incredibly well. We're not going to get it, but I think the speed up would have done wonders there for LGD. Being able to force Fearness into these fights, helping Xie out really well could have been great. However, we are going to get the Ziggs. Great wave clear. Kramer had an okay performance when we saw it in his last series. Was able to get to that late game point where he did a hell of a lot of damage with that Mega Inferno bomb, but the early laning phase, he got caught out a good amount. So I want to see now how this bot lane for LGD works. On the opposite side, though, for IG, we are getting a pretty bog standard composition. The Nidalee coming in for Shun. This Nidalee is a Shun favorite. It's one of his best champions. And when you pair it alongside the set, I think is going to the top lane, you have the opportunity to go for some of these early ganks, but it looks like it's going to be for Rookie in that mid lane. Still the same thing. Get that face breaker in towards the spear and look to eliminate Xie off the face of the earth.
Honestly, I would really love to see Shun really double down on that in the mid lane. Like you said, the flash face breaker, and then the pure burst you can get down onto Xie is just astronomical from the side of IG. But looking at the composition here from LGD, they have so many ways to just, you know, if they can find a flank, if they can get on top of you with this Leona or Renekton, you're just going to be hurting so much on the side of Invictus Gaming. And the same problem we saw for Kramer in game 1 is going to be an issue for Wink in game 2, where he's going to be caught out if he does not get away from these teams. He's going to be CC'd down, and he's going to do absolutely nothing in team fights.
Yeah, it's such a strong team fight from LGD's side, right? Because you end up having this Rumble ultimate to slow people. It gets a 30% slow off the ult, so having that opportunity then for people like Fearness to get in on this Renekton, Xie as well to set up these fights could go super well. And as well, Kramer is poking at you the whole time, right? So even if you don't get into the fight fast enough, you're going to be met with a lot of these bombs coming through from the Ziggs. So I think, especially for IG, as you look towards Wink on this bot side of the map, he's going to be kind of the focus of a lot of this attention, especially not having the protection of something like a Thresh or a Tam Kench. Whereas when you look towards the mid jungle 2v2, Shun and Rookie, I think, have a huge amount of strength there that they can look to double down on and try and find these early advantages through that.
We are onto the Rift for game 2 of this best of 3 between LGD Gaming and Invictus Gaming. Crowd feeling pretty hyped. It might be a home win here for LGD if they're able to clear out the 2-0. Invictus Gaming with his Akali. Curious to see now how Nani does, you know, facilitating the more carry style for this top laner. It's going to be Rookie on the facilitator, not, you know, the one who's going to be able to create the, or one who's be able to create the advantages, but not so much finish them off. Nani just going to be a little bit of a microscope on him just to make sure he does okay on this Akali as IG move forward onto the enemy red buff and also the Raptors. And it's a very smart invade here on top of Shadow. Shadow going to try and start off on his Raptors, was not able to get that one going for himself, and they're able to get themselves a red steal.
Yeah, and this is actually really clever from IG. One of the differences we've seen since the Rumble nerf to his W is that he actually can't overheat using the W. So starting off in these camps at level 1, not really working when you go for that W start. So instead, they are going for the Q, overheating off the Q and starting Raptors. So nice job from just realizing, hey, look, here's a bit of a difference from Rumble that we can try to punish.
And actually, Shadow going with the Dark Harvest as well. So might be looking for a little bit of a push in as he now, after taking his Wolves, will move over to the enemy Raptors as Shun is taking away his one. So it's a bit of a split map at the moment. It will be LGD pretty much owning the top side with IG looking to try and change that. Whoa! Not quite sure about that one, Shun, and they are just trying to put down the pressure here, and Shun really doesn't want this Rumble to get going.
No, I think Shun thought that Rookie had hit the face breaker, was trying to flash to get the spear to follow up, but not quite able to do so as Rookie and Xie heavy trading in this mid lane. Rookie has no access to the Haymaker because he's gone for the double up and might cost him.
Ooh, so close. The power in these skirmishes, these 1v1s you get with the Viego, as we now see Kramer going for a little bit of a 1v2 or 2v2 in this bot side. Lucas and Wink trying to see if they can get the advantage on that. They get a little bit of damage onto the Ziggs, but again, just burn his flash and back away. Now Shun back into this mid lane. Still a flash on Xie, but Rookie well misses out. And Xie gets himself out of this gank, but they're still chasing. They really want to try and make this one work for them. IG, they're throwing out a lot at this mid lane, but Xie's just walking away. Even throws out the Yuumi on the book, and this is getting, this feels a little desperate from the side of IG.
I mean, they're all into this bot side now. Kramer gets hit by the spear, but not enough damage. And, there's the poke from Wink. Could look for the dive now. TPs need to come through.
Oh my god, it's going to be 2 TPs going in on the top of this one now. We can see there's the Zenith Blade on top of Rookie, and Rookie's been left for dead. It will be first blood going over to the side of LGD, and now they finally take down Xie. They're going to try and continue with this one as they did get the TP in from Nani. And now everybody's here. What do you do? The Rumble is coming. You can see him. He's going to be here very shortly. This is just crazy. What is this? What is going on? Everyone's in the bot lane. It's 4 minutes into the game. Now here we go. Shadow and Mark are the last last ones to be trying to stand on top of this one. Rookie is here. Maybe he's got himself a face breaker. Another teleport going to be committed. This time around, it's going to be Kramer coming back into the fray, and the rest of IG need to back away. They dodge out from the bouncing bomb, and they do not miss the satchel. They're trying to turn this one back. The spear lands.
Oh my God.
They land the piercing arrow, but it is nothing else to happen. Invictus Gaming come out with 3 kills, but they forced that so hard. I don't even know who comes out on top of that one.
Yeah, limping, lame, and maimed out of that one. Everyone in IG struggling away from that play, but they get the kills. They get that advantage. Now, when we look towards the CS, that's where we start to see a little bit of the difference here, right? Because you're getting Fearness with a lot of control top. A massive wave was lost by Rookie in that mid lane to make that play, but as Shun has decided he's a second mid laner for this game.
Yeah, it's a new strategy. You don't play jungle, you just play mid, two people in mid. But now Xie in a lot of trouble. There's no mana, though, from Shun. He doesn't have enough for a spear. Javelin toss not quite there. And what is going on in this game right now, Dag? This is just chaos from IG.
Rookie.
Oh my God, does he get him? I don't know if he does. He doesn't quite have the auto attack. Mark misses the Zenith Blade. And now, you know what? We don't need 2 mid laners. We need 3 mid laners. As the supports have decided the bot lane is in no way, shape, or form going to be where we're needed the most. We're needed the most in mid. And this is where things get a little bit dicey because you're not getting the same level of XP. You can see already Rookie, because he's had so many people in his lane from his own side, he's just not getting the same level of experience from his camps or from his waves. So definitely a little bit behind on that front. And now Lucas goes back towards this bot side. Never mind, he's going to go back mid.
Look,
everyone just wants the mid lane to work.
This is looking like very much an Adam kind of game, an all draft, all mid kind of game, because everyone is just holding on towards this mid lane. Is now actually maybe a bit of action top side. Fearness, though, shoves in that lane. He's going to get the reset. Shun just there to make sure that he's okay. But, all right, I want to take us back to where it all started, because
when was
we
that?
haven't actually had a chance to talk. I don't really know. But the dive bot got some kills going towards Rookie, right? Look at the gold difference, though. Because of the CS, you lost the mid, Xie's actually ahead. We look towards the bottom side of the map. That's where the big difference maker for IG was. Kramer lost a massive wave, a ton of experience, and you're seeing that reflected in Wink's gold plus the level lead that he has. However, because we had all this messing about in mid and bot side, the isolated 1v1 for Fearness has been going great. Not so much when it comes to gold department because of the kills that were picked up by Nani in that bot one, but certainly when we look again at the experience, at the CS, and also the pressure he'll be able to get on towards this top lane turret. So for IG, they need to either, one, get some sort of play down to the bottom lane, or try and help out Nani in this top lane. Otherwise, Fearness starts to work with this tower. You can turn that in towards an early Rift Herald, which is going to take this top lane tower and set up this Renekton to be a monster in this game.
Finally get a breather. Thank you for letting me have a moment to collect my thoughts as such. But honestly, yeah, I think, you know, we talked about at the start of the game, or start of game 1, about how the big thing for the side of IG was just take a minute, calm yourself, give yourself a moment to figure stuff out, but they haven't really gone with that. In fact, if anything, they've doubled down and said, no, this is how we do it, this is how we win games.
Dumb.
There is the showstopper to start this one off. Shun picks up that kill, 1-4. Will they trade it back? Yes, they will. Rookie does end up falling. Chain of Corruption right between the posts, and that's going to be 3 points over the side of IG. Now Nani jumping in, has got himself the execution, but it's Shun who gets that kill as well. So 2-0, 300% kill participation for this Nidalee. And Adam is the name of the game, man. All draft, all mid. This is just getting ridiculous.
It is absolutely insane how often these guys are mid. I keep looking to expect to see a snowball on some of these champions, but either way, it is IG coming out on top of these skirmishes, and for IG, that is a very big plus. Xie going too far forward, no flash available for him, not able to get away from this one. And then as Shadow and everyone else starts to walk up, they do get Rookie, but it's actually the Chains of Corruption. Hang on. Wait.
No, we're good. We're
okay,
good.
so we don't quite get the steal coming through from LGD. I was trying to right myself there, as Shun did get that Rift Tower, which was kind of the big takeaway after the fight going in favor of IG's. That Rift Tower we talked about potentially going to Fearness, doubling down on the advantages Croc had on the top side, isn't available. And now you have the opportunity for IG to try and make some plays, especially down towards this bottom side. I feel like just trying to punish Kramer, force him back, keep this Ziggs out of the equation will make things a hell of a lot easier for IG.
We do have a pause. Looks like LGD having some slight issues at the moment on stage. And hopefully the officials will be able to figure that one out as soon as possible. Do apologize, of course. We just want to make sure that all players are 100% ready and aiming, much like these fans who are ready. They're not as enthusiastic during a pause as they would normally be during the gyos.
Curious.
Go on.
Every time I see someone hide their face with a poster, if they've taken the day off work and have just been busted. If ever it's like shows up on the big screen, they're like, "Oh God, no! I'm not supposed to be here. There is a conference I'm supposed to be at. I'm sorry."
Just someone with a screenshot, just be like, "Don't tell my wife I'm here," or something like that. God damn. But yeah, again, good start to Invictus Gaming, like you mentioned. Good. Again, this is something that IG have been very, very good at throughout the spring or the summer split so far, is that they don't care how good or bad you are. You play in the mud with IG. That's where you play, and there's no don't care what your mom and dad said, don't care what the principal said, we play in the mud. And that's kind of where they thrive. You can see it there. The LGD are trying to keep the lanes going, and we're just getting reports there from our production. Shie from LGD has reported an in-game issue, and officials are investigating right now. Of course, once we know what the issue is and if it is game-breaking or not, we will let you all know exactly when and where that is happening. Officials are currently looking into it. I'm a little scared. It's
a Viego. It's a Viego. There's a laundry list of things that go wrong there. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the big thing, kind of the takeaway from looking at IG is, I think this split is obviously with the Shy not being a part of the team, it's actually been a little bit cleaner. It's not so much as a PUD as maybe like a little bit of a mud as much of a puddle or like a bit of dirty water. Because honestly, it feels like you're still getting a little bit of a cleaner play from IG, but this game completely off the ring. Like, this is just absolutely insane where we're getting consistently 3 to 4 members in that mid lane. We already had the 5-man bot. Like, I'm just waiting now for everyone to suddenly TP top with the Ziggs coming in as well with their own TP to make these plays happen. It just feels like now with IG behind, they're out for blood. They've thrown caution to the wind and they just want to keep fighting, but they are coming out ahead. Rookie has been able to outplay a lot of these. Their dive netted them a huge amount because they were able to balance correctly the health bars. So overall, you've still got a lot of pressure and a lot of safety here for this side of IG.
I wonder how we talk about it a lot, obviously, and the Shy is still the Shy despite some of his more recent performances on Invictus Gaming not being of the caliber that we expect and know of this man. But the Shy is coming back, and we just need to know, because I feel like it's not fair to just say for 100% that it's going to be Nani taking the backseat and the Shy coming back, but it does feel like you have to do that with IG kind of struggling so much. But I don't feel like that's a fair justification on Nani, because he's looked fantastic in his games. I think he's had a great start as a rookie top laner, and really has been a shining light for the side in a very dark, start to the summer split. So for IG coming into this and having Nofe and the Shy coming back in the next few weeks, is that going to change the dynamic of this team up any more than you think it is already, or do you think they're just going to try and just slot him in the same role as Nani?
It's the Shy, man. The Shy changes everything. The Shy just, like, I don't care what team you're on. You slot the Shy into any team, that team dynamic is changing, like, instantly, because you got to just deal with the nuttiness, what this guy's going to be pulling out. But I do agree with you that Nani has looked really, really good. I love that you've got, like, IG Youth has been such a strong performer in the LDL for quite a while, and they seem to have a lot of these good players. Like, we saw Lucas that was brought up for them. Captain, unfortunately, over at TT wasn't having the best of experiences. Shun also looked really has a good experience now that he's come in and kind of grown a little bit in the LPL. And it's unfortunate that we get to see Nani looking as good as he is, but also the fact that the Shy is kind of that looming shadow behind him, always following him in his footsteps. But I do think those footsteps are leading to a brighter future, because regardless of whether the Shy comes back and takes the slot, I think Nani's here to stay. Like, we have a lot of good top laners here, but Nani's kind of put himself definitely in that middle of the pack, better than a lot of, say, the bottom tier teams that we're seeing. So if I'm looking at Nani, I think we will get to see more of him, whether it's on IG or in a different team come spring 2022.
See how it all pans out, of course. The Shy still yet to come out of his quarantine, was in South Korea and had some slight visa issues, so it was a little delayed coming back, as was Nofe from the coaching staff. For Invictus Gaming, I feel like, especially for Rookie, this is a player that has played with the Shy for quite a long time. Obviously has played in the LPL for absolutely years, and it feels like when you lose someone like that, someone that you feel like you can rely on, someone you can have camaraderie with, it can affect you just a little bit negatively. And hopefully for Invictus Gaming, once they're able to get the full squad back, subs and all, they will bounce back to the level that we know and love them all. But we are going to stall no longer, as we are now into game. The issue has obviously been resolved, or not game breaking, so we are going to continue with it until a further investigation, or until I am told a further point.
Yeah, so basically, GA messed. No, he messed.
GA was like, I'm not OP, so that's clearly an in-game bug. I'm 1 and 2 instead of 2 and 1. Like, what's going on?
But look, either way, just mean we're still back in square one, right? 1,000 gold lead coming through for IG, just to crest from the 10-minute mark. You've got this Rift Herald in Shun's back pocket as well. Dragon up and available, so we could actually see Shun, as we talked about, making this pressure bot side, trying to get some gold in towards Wink, and then turning that pressure in towards Dragon.
Well, looks like the Dragon is definitely on the cards here for LGD. Spear does not land, and the rest of the vision shall be cleared out here by the side of Mark and Shadow. Shadow looking for a quick reset just to try and spend a little bit of his gold and get himself back onto the map. But I feel like this Dragon is pretty much all for the taking for Invictus Gaming. They just need to be a little bit careful of exactly where everyone is, but I think right now they can just take this, rotate towards either top or bot, mid or bot, and maybe drop down the Rift Herald. But it looks like they're going to do the Rift Herald first, so Shun is here.
And one of the things
know what they're going with.
Yeah, I think they are going to just go for this bot lane play, but they're going to try and step Kramer behind. One of the things you got to remember whenever you see a Ziggs in a game is the ability to stall out these games. Because he's got that Mega Inferno Bomb, because his wave clear is absolutely insane, the ability for him to stop a lot of aggression coming through from IG, especially with like a lot of the shorter range side laners like Nani, Rookie as well, means that he should be reasonably okay. Now, decent siege coming through from Shun and Wink, but just getting that wave in a consistent spot is going to be really, really difficult. So for IG, trying to get this snowball going now will definitely make things a little bit easier when they get to the early to mid game, but they do need to start the snowball, because if we get to a position where Diego's got 3-4 items, Kramer has hit like a rabbit on his death cap, he's just going to be able to take over this game. So definitely IG need to get the fire underneath them to get these advantages.
The big thing for IG as well is, like, if they can jump onto Kramer, if they can get the Ziggs out of position, he will just blow up. There's very little, if none at all, protection for him in his own essential kit, apart from his satchel, which even then is a bit of a maybe. So we'll see exactly what Invictus Gaming are able to do.
Things like the Zhonya's, he will have a little bit of protection from the likes of Mark. Like, he's not completely on his own. Yes, the satchel does do a little bit, but if you have that Zhonya's, you're going to be pretty okay, especially because there's not going to be a huge amount of threat. But GA
is being jumped on, but Equalizer was just too damn good. Mark trying to tank up this turret, does take a little bit too much HP off of himself, but that is a turnaround if I've ever seen one for LGD, and that is Rookie trying to set something up for his team, and they're just not able to convert it. And now we're starting to see these scraps go the other way, because it is the side of LGD that are coming out on top, because you don't need a support in a lane with Kramer. Ziggs is just so safe to wave clear for days.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, well, you can once see how busted Aphelios is, Bad Habit. Diego is in this scenario. I think he's just been absolutely nuts. You can see the timer there on Rift Herald, which is why Shelly's making her way down bot, but that's the problem that I'm looking at with Ziggs here. Because Kramer can wave clear all the live long day, you don't really get this siege potential for the likes of Nidalee and the Varus, and you don't really have the fastest of Barons either, right? Because you've gone this poke Varus, you're not really having a damage-orientated mid laner, so when you go to try and take a quick Baron, that's not really an option here as IG.
You can see there, Wink wanted the extra gold. It is just going to go over to Shun. So 2 plates there for the Nidalee, off into a million different years away as they are. Shelly had a long journey ahead of her and ended up converting nicely there. So IG will be at least happy with that. And gold is very, very even as we come up to the 15-minute mark. It's only about 200 or 300 gold. Nothing really that big of a deal to talk about. And Gordrinker finished up here for Fearness. He's been incredibly quiet up on the top side, but has found himself a 20 CS lead. As we now see Nani looking to maybe go aggressive onto the Crocodile, but I would advise against it.
Especially at this stage, you can see Fearness is still very much in control of this lane. Does take a little bit of a damage on the way out, but we'll be able to heal up. Just holding on towards that Fury as well to see if he can get that extra damage off of doing the extra healing as Xie.
Ooh, Rookie almost found the face breaker, but now with that down, do they look to try and turn this one around? Rookie's still very tanky, despite only having the components of a Gordrinker available to him. And again, more and more pressure from LGD. Yes, the early game was heavy skirmishing and a lot of different big plays coming out from both sides, but looking down the item list, you've talked about the Gordrinker, of course, and the Renekton, the Divine Sunderer now finished up for Xie, and now the Luden's Tempest for the Ziggs, excuse me. And this is where this game becomes a lot harder for the side of Invictus Gaming because they just don't have the wave clear to deal with it, so they're trying to group up and be this death ball within, you know, the top side of the map.
And they're trying to look for this Rift Tower, because right now, like, 3 towers are still standing for LGD. This game has not been pushed forward at all, and IG are going, like, right, we need to find a fight at this Rift Tower, or use this Rift Tower to try and force this game open. Now, they will be trading for bot side. Remember, Kramer and the Ziggs will be able to just satchel charge the tower, take that down once it gets below the threshold, which is just now in a minute. We'll see
25%.
There
it is.
But the big thing here is that, like, IG, like, they haven't ran away with this game, right? They haven't actually been able to crack it open. And we already talked about, here, look, you just pop Ziggs in the mid lane, he clears all day, guarantees Prio going over towards these dragons. There's Dragon number 2 is spawning at the 15-16 minute mark. It's not like you're going to see these Dragon Souls potential for Dragon Point until the 25 to 30 minute mark. So you're perfectly fine here as LGD to play this slower game and let Kramer farm up to the late game. Get Viego to that point where he's absolutely unstoppable.
The big thing as well is that yes, you've got poke from a virus, but the early game poke and from a Ziggs is definitely something to be feared. As you can see, LGD, they do not want this second Drake to go over to the hands of IG. They want to try and stop the stacking as soon as possible. They have got TP onto Fearness, and there is a TP onto Rookie as well, so he's the one who's gone to deal with the Renekton. Is going back right now, though, to finish off his Stride Breaker, excuse me, not the Gordrinker. As we now wait and see now, Rookie immediately TPs down towards this bot side, looking for that big flank.
Hits like this are a dangerous spot though for IG because Equalize, Mega Inferno Bomb, Solar Flares, even Fearness finding these flanks is going to be a death trap for IG. Now, LGD decided, hey look, second dragon, we don't really care. We just want to start cracking open these bases and getting the gold from these turrets in towards our hands. But you do still have to be careful if you look towards Baron, if you look towards these later dragons. As LGD, they've got a 2,000 gold lead for themselves.
Yeah, LGD are bringing this game back to some kind of normality as they push in. And this is where Ziggs really comes into his own as well. Ziggs has such a strong power to say, all right, you're going for this objective? Cool, we can take this tower so quickly. We talked about the satchel shard, but even just his passive as well. The empowered auto attack does so much damage to towers that he might as well be an AD carry into these mid to late game fights in terms of taking structures. So very nicely done here by LGD. They've got themselves a 2,000 gold lead. Yes, they're 2 dragons down, but those 3 turrets make the map a lot smaller for IG, especially considering they have taken none for themselves.
And now again, like with the wave clear, you can push in pretty easily on the mid lane, and because you're going to be threatening like close to those tier 2s, the range on that Mega Inferno Bomb makes it quite difficult to actually try and collapse on someone. Like if Fearness ends up fighting you, he ends up seeing you down, you get that big ult across the top. He's level 11, here's Kramer as well, so a lot of damage is packed into that ultimate for the Ziggs. And I think this is something that LGD have kind of spotted, is like the way Ziggs can change the identity of a game and cause you to actually rethink what you're trying to do. Now for IG, It looks like they're just going to say, hey, Rookie, go towards the side lane. We're just going to have you split push all day. See if we can actually maybe bring you into a fight on a flank or something along these lines. But as you can see for LGD, they're perfectly happy to just get Fearless to go there. They're instead going to invade on towards this bot side jungle with Kramer, get that vision control that they need, and start looking towards these inner towers.
The further in you go, though, the little easier it is for the side of IG to get on top of LGD. See exactly where they want to go now. 3 minutes until that dragon spawns, so no real rush on that. And quick look at the items. Night Harvester for both the junglers, for the Nidalee and, of course, the Rumble. You got the Rift Maker for the Akali.
Oh no. Rift Herald number 2 is about to time out for Shun, and he still hasn't placed it.
Well, he's going to place it in about 3, 2, 1. Yeah, he just remembered. I think he's got it. There it is. Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, that was very close. You nearly lost it at the end of it. But, Shun, yes, you're taking these Rift Heralds, but it doesn't really equate into anything. As I say, that is going to be a catch straight down onto Xie. Nicely done there by the side of IG, and now they can maybe look to try and get something into this mid lane with the Rift Herald pushing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what happened with Xie there. Heartbreaker and also the Flash burnt. Still not able to get there. Rookie on the flank.
Rookie is on the flank. He still has the showstopper available to him. Actually, no, excuse me. He does not use the Haymaker, and they do take down Shadow. But look at the damage. The mega explosive bomb just does so much. And now the power of the Crocodile can be fully realized as 2 more kills go down in favor of LGD. Where do you go, Nani? I don't think you have many places you can. There's the perfect execution to try and back away. He has to flash, and that is going to be a turnaround of kills now with the excuse me, Wink going to be caught out straight away. Thought he had enough damage with the flash, and the piercing arrow does not hit his mark as Xie TP'd in. And that might be enough to be able to push in this mid lane. Maybe get a tier 2 here for LGD.
Yeah, especially now that you got the Varus, you can go for a lot of siege, but looks like they are just going to back away. They don't want to overextend with the resets coming through from IG, but IG biting off too much than they can chew in that fight, giving a lot of control back towards LGD. And a kill's going towards Fearless is going to make him a very, very angry Crocodile. Now, we see it here for Xie. Just gets caught out by Rookie. Uses the flash, uses the Heartbreaker to try to escape. Looks like he actually got caught mid-Heartbreaker by the Magnet Storm from Lucas. So nice job there from Lucas to shut that play down. But going so far here as IG. Could have just been happy with that one pick, but again, you get this great solar flare coming through from Mark. Mega Inferno Bomb over the top. We said already, level 11 for Kramer. Huge amount of damage is packed into that ultimate from the Zig, so if you're hitting multiple people, you can finish them off. Fairness is massive again in these fights, same as game number 1. And it's IG who are struggling to deal with so many of these carries on LGD.
And the flash here from Wink, I feel like it's optimistic at best here, thinking he'd be able to get a full rotation of spells. Fearless, you knew, was just on the top side there, so not able to make that one work in 10 seconds till this dragon spawns. This is IG's way back into the game, but where's Wink supposed to go? He has cleansed, but where else is he? Can't. He's just dead straight away, and they're able to turn back onto Rookie. They're trying to make this fight work for them, but it's just not enough in the bank here for IG. LGD tearing them apart, knowing that they're stronger, knowing they have the damage. After all the summoners that were burnt in that last skirmish, LGD gonna take their prize of the Baron.
And Wink had nowhere to turn, as he said. Like, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. And when Wink goes down, that's the majority of your consistent damage here in IG. Like, Nani can't really carry these fights. Shun certainly can't. And Rookie's on a bruiser. He's not able to just hard carry a fight. So LGD are able to get this Baron for themselves. IG will try and put themselves on Soul Point as a consolation prize. But LGD now, with this siege potential, Kramer, a Baroned up Ziggs, this base ain't gonna last long.
Oh, Wink, he just gets caught out. Just nowhere for him to go. 3 ultimates popped onto him. Yeah, he's nowhere to go. He's just unfortunately got caught out in a ward. And the fight was the fight.
It's the same problem, though, that we were talking about for IG, right? They're trying to go in towards these objectives, and when they're behind, they just don't ward. They don't clear out the vision. Oh, no, Wink!
Oh, Wink is taking so much damage. He can't play this right now, and this is the issue that we talk about Varus, is that he is a great poking ADC. Yes, he's got a hell of a lot of damage in those piercing arrows, but if you're getting out-poked by the, probably I would say the OG poke champion that in the Ziggs, it just becomes so difficult for you to be able to do anything. Satchel Charge does not quite take down the turret. They needed to get a little bit more damage onto that one. As we can see now, Nani on this flank does get spotted out by a ward. So the rest of LGD should be pretty safe in knowing they can walk in and around as a big old death squad. And yes, Nani looked for a flank. That means he left open bot lane for a little bit, and that's going to be the tower pretty much taken down here. Yep, Satchel Charge, easy as you like. LGD converting this Baron into gold.
I also want to point out how Mark is playing these fights, because I think it's really important. Watch how he ends up using the solar flare for the engagement, but doesn't follow up with the Zenith play. He sticks by Kramer in case Rookie comes around, in case Nani ends up in these fights, and just trying to buy space for Kramer, especially for a Ziggs that doesn't have a flash. Mark has been pretty instrumental in keeping Kramer safe and making sure that IG can't follow up. But here we go now. LGD baroned up, starting to threaten this inhibitor turret. You got Fearness, who's pushing in that bot side as well. They've got the options to start moving around.
So difficult for pretty much anyone on the side of IG to walk up to this. They need vision, they need a flank, they need the Akali on the back line, and that becomes very, very difficult with a 4-1-5 Renekton and a 2-1-6 Ziggs. Just so hard for them to move forward, and honestly, one or two ultimates on top of Wink! Oh, the Comet! Comet does enough, and that means they're going to be able to blow this turret to smithereens. The inhibitor next to follow in 40 seconds. Do LGD go for more? They may look to try and go for bot side, or maybe they go for the end right here, right now. Fearness does get caught up a little bit in his own ultimate, but the showstopper has been used. There's Nani going in with the perfect execution, not quite able to kill off anybody just yet. And the re-engage from IG was good, but not good enough to get them any kills.
Fairness though still has the TP, so they may just look towards this bottom tower. Satchel Charge available for the Ziggs. 2 towers gone in an instant.
2 towers and 2 inhibitors, and what do you do right now if you're IG? You're just watching your base just get taken every structure away from you, and I just honestly right now this just feels like a hole too big for IG to get themselves out of.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have the late game scaling guarantee, right? You got Ziggs and Viego on the opposite side, and this is just a combo. I'm Flash not quite up for Wink, so he's not able to escape, but I can't even fault Wink there. I mean, the range on Equalizer and the semi-global coming through from the Mega Inferno Bomb, what do? Just stay in your base? Like, you approach any of these fights and you're just getting that combo every time.
Just nothing he can do at this stage, as we now see the Ziggs becoming a little bit of a pocket pick now for Kramer. It's definitely something that is burning forward, and speaking of burning forward, Sean gets himself the red buff, but now they know where Nani is, and there is the wall of pain being put down. They're going to use a teleport. Nicely done in the shrouds. They know he can't be stopped. But that is a teleport down now for Invictus Gaming. That's one of their globals down and not available, as the rest of it, LGD, now push in this top side for the remaining structures.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake from Shea. Could have actually used his sweeper, which he currently is using to get the kill there, or at least stop the play from Nani, but obviously wasn't aware that he was TPing out of that one. But LGD still, this siege is so damn strong. It's Fearness. Hang on a second. Don't want to go that far.
Yeah, he's got to have a little bit of fear. You can't just walk up with the rest of your team. You got to be a little bit of a cohesive unit, and as that turret gets down to about just above half its HP, Kramer, he's feeling so safe right now as well. Got the Banshee's Veil, so even if they're able to land, say, a Shuriken flip on top of him or a crash down from Lucas, there's not really a lot you can do to stick to him, as we can see these super minions almost taking out a Nexus turret in the base. Solar Flare goes out, slows down Rookie, and Rookie's a broser. He's trying to keep himself alive. That massive shield does so much, but the Equalizer splits the Invictus Game and C, and it's just too separated of a fight. This is going to be LGD almost certainly taking down a couple of kills and looking to try and end this game. Flash forward, Xenoblade, the Ziggs picks up 2. That's a double kill there for Kramer as he trades it all back. It's only one person left standing. Never mind, it's a clean ace. LGD in their home arena will 2-0 Invictus Gaming and go to 4-3 in the split.
And this was far more convincing from LGD. A slower paced early game lends itself to the Ziggs, lends itself to the Viego, and when we get to those later game fights, There's nothing that you can do as IG. You're getting picked apart from artillery range away, and they're falling like flies.
You can see IG, they are not happy right now. They very much within themselves didn't even realize the rest of the LGD were coming over to say thank you and of course have a good game, but this is starting to become a trend for IG, and this is where we start to get a little bit worried for them and their playoff potential, because they now sit 2-4. 2-4 after 6 games. You have 10 games left, and the next few games aren't exactly walks in the park either. They come up against